Hello everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the latest 4K review from us here at FlickDirect, and for today's 4K review, I'm here to talk to you all about the complete first season of The Last of Us. The Last of Us is an adaptation of the best-selling video game of the same name, which, by the way, one of my favorite games of all time, in which we follow in the show Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, who has been tasked with escorting a girl named Ellie, portrayed by Bella Ramsey, across country, across this post-apocalyptic world in which infected, aka clickers, have essentially been roaming the land, in which Ellie just might have the cure to save at least what could be the future of the planet. The Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time, and as you can imagine, when I heard that they were developing this into a TV show, I figured, you know what, this is going to be probably the best case scenario, because trimming that game down, which is, by the way, around like a 16 hour game, into an hour, maybe 2 hour movie is just not possible unless you're gonna just cut out so much necessary content that's very vital to the storytelling. So knowing that this was being adapted into a TV show, I had a lot of faith, a lot of hope for the show. I'm happy to say that The Last of Us, like the quote in the box says, is one of, if not the greatest adaptation to a video game I have ever seen. I have seen quite a few video game adaptations out there, but there have been none that have executed the spirit of the games, that they have adapted the characters just right, showing the atmosphere, the tone, the character relationships, the drama, the action when it does happen, the production design. Everything about this show is so spot on. It's not even funny. Pedro Pascal, I thought was phenomenal as Joel. Bella Ramsey, I thought was absolutely amazing as Ellie. Diego Luna, I thought was great as Tommy. Anna Torv as Tess. I could go on and on and on. And not to mention Troy Baker playing as James, along with Ellie Johnson, who, by the way, Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson portrayed Joel and Ellie in the game, so it was great to see them portraying these new roles within the show. This is such a terrific show that will appeal to gamers and non-gamers. It appeals to both sides of the coin. It is so wonderful. Getting into the audio and video quality, starting off with the video quality, The Last of Us Season 1 in 4K is presented on an aspect ratio of 178:1, and this transfer is absolutely spectacular. Now, here's the thing. Unlike the game, The Last of Us is primarily a character-driven show with some bits of action. So what you're going to get here, nonetheless, is such a beautifully shot show that really comes through in terms of the production design. I mean, they did such a great job of putting what we saw, or at least what people saw in the video game, to whether it was the Boston quarantine zone, the stuff involving James's camp, not to mention as well the college scene where things get a bit more haywire, or in terms of the diner scene, or in terms of the hospital scene in the series finale for season 1. Image quality is crystal clear, the colors look great, the 4K looks absolutely amazing, especially when it comes to the close-ups on characters' faces. Fabric looks absolutely amazing in terms of the close-up shots, and not to mention the prosthetic effects when it comes to seeing the clickers and or the bloater from the games. The clickers look absolutely amazing. Altogether, The Last of Us looks absolutely amazing in 4K. Going on to the audio quality, The Last of Us is on a Dolby Atmos track, and I could not think of a better track to represent the ambiance, the tone, and the overall sound of the show. In particular, there is a sequence that I was curious to see how it's going to come up with a Dolby Atmos soundscape, and that is when, if you've played the game, when Joel, Ellie, and Tommy are trying to get through the infected town when everything is starting to really boil up. And there is a particular sequence in this scene in which you see a bunch of planes going overhead, and the overhead channels kick into such high gear on top of all that. Hearing all the commotion going on the center channels and the surround sound channels. Whether you're talking about the dialogue, which sounds crystal clear, Gustavo Santaolalla, I believe that's how his name is, score, which sounds just pitch perfect along with the other licensed tracks in the show. Everything sounds absolutely pitch perfect. Finally, moving on to the special features, The Last of Us comes with over 2 hours of content. 2 hours, but just to name a couple of my favorite featurettes, one of them is about the making of the show itself, and it goes into Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann's process of trying to adapt one of the most popular stories of all time. There is another particular feature in which it goes into how they adapted certain parts of the game into the show, and not to mention, one of my favorite featurettes is a feature in which it is essentially a debriefing that features Troy Baker, the original voice actor for Joel, going over what you can expect from the show and more. All in all, what we have here is easily the best adaptation to a video game I have ever seen. It is just so perfectly well done. It is absolutely astonishing. On top of that, amazing video quality, terrific audio quality with great features. So simply put, guys, just pick the show up and just get ready for one of the greatest TV shows I have seen in a long time. It is that good. I hope you all enjoyed my 4K review of the complete first season of The Last of Us. If so, please hit that like button, also share, and don't forget the subscribe button and the notification bell if our latest 4K review goes live. If you guys want to see our previous 2 4K reviews, please click it right there or right there. And then, of course, until our next review goes live, we'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, guys. Hit like, smash subscribe, and get notified for when our reviews, interviews, and news go live.